Keeping track of Donald Trump's court schedule is a dizzying task, because he faces 2 federal lawsuits, a criminal case in Georgia, and 2 separate civil and criminal cases in New York. To make it easier to follow, each week we'll look back at the latest developments in the Trump case you might have missed. As we head into holiday season, Trump's civil trial is in the process of wrapping up and is expected to be completed in New Year. And all eyes are on the Supreme Court, which is considering 2 issues that could delay Trump's federal 2020 election interference trial. Legal challenge that could affect Jack Smith's case on January 6. What acts of corruption fall under the definition of obstructing an official act? The answer to that question could impact more than 300 lawsuits filed by the Justice Department, including special counsel Jack Smith's lawsuit against former President Trump. Last week, the Supreme Court accepted a lawsuit from former Pennsylvania police officer Joseph Fischer that sought to answer that question. Fischer was charged with obstructing an official act, among a number of other charges, after entering the Capitol on Jan. 6, 2021, and is working to have that specific charge dismissed, which carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. At first, a Trump-appointed judge dismissed Fischer's obstruction charge, arguing that his actions did not violate the law because they did not amount to tampering with a document, record, or other object. The Justice Department appealed that decision to the U.S. Court of Appeals, which prevailed, overturning the earlier court's decision for narrow interpretation. The appeals court also said the law applies to any action aimed at obstructing an official action, not just document falsification. Fischer appealed again, and now the Supreme Court has agreed to hear the case and will issue a decision before June 2024. It's not immediately clear how court will handle the issue, but 3 legal experts writing for Slate expect case to be won. Ultimately, do not delay the hearing too much, or at all. Jack Smith's election interference trial paused. The Supreme Court is also considering whether to give weight to Trump's presidential immunity challenge. Trump's lawyers are trying to get the Justice Department's federal election interference lawsuit dismissed, arguing that Trump is protected from prosecution for actions he took while in office. But before appeals court could issue decision, Special Prosecutor Jack Smith took unusual step of petitioning Supreme Court to consider whether a president has absolute immunity from criminal prosecution to prevent stay of March 4, 2024, ruling that Trump made while in office. Start the hearing. But before appeals court could issue a decision, Smith took an unusual step in an effort to avoid delaying start of trial until March 4, 2024. He petitioned Supreme Court to consider whether a president has absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for conduct